What's up, everyone? Horseman here to bring you footage of the alpha for the new isometric action RPG set in the Warhammer 40k universe, subtitled Inquisitor Martyr. Not too much is known about this title as of yet, as it is still in its very early stages, and by early, I mean early. What you will see here is a few builds away from brand spanking new. So I decided to become a founder just a couple days ago, and prior to this there wasn't even an options menu, so again this is going to be rough. First I take you to the star map, which will take you to the galaxy and let you zoom into planetary systems such as this, and then allow you to get a quick overview of the mission that that planet particularly holds. It'll tell you what type of loot you can get, types of monsters, what you need to do. So you just hit that start button and it's gonna get you out to the actual map, which is nice. Upon getting to the map, I'm quickly greeted by my welcoming party along with some tooltips to help me kind of figure out the whole control scheme and whatnot. From what I've seen so far, it is very similar to Diablo in the sense that we do have your primary attack with the left mouse click and the secondary attack with the right mouse click, as well as options 1 and 2 for other types of powerful attacks. And then I have a 3 button for a grenade, which is limited, and you can find replenishment in the form of supply packs. And that 4 button there is for the jetpack. One of the first bugs that I encountered was the fact that I couldn't quite get the camera to roll around. I couldn't get it because it's not stuck. You're not actually stuck in this point of view. You can actually move the camera around as you want to. So I'm flipping through the options menu here to try to figure out if there's a different key mapping that I can assign to it, but it didn't seem like that was the case. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward while I stumble through this mess. Alright, with that out of the way, I went ahead and continued to mess around with options, mess around with these abilities to see what it is. Now, this is the Crusader. It is a very bulky, heavy class, much like the Crusader that we see in Diablo 3, and yet it hits just as hard. It's very tanky. You got a shield, you got a one-handed weapon, but you can also quickly change out weapons with the press of a button, and that is one of the things that I actually discover a little bit later. One of the new features that was added to one of the more recent builds was the ability to drop loot. You saw there real quick some money dropping, and I got a chance to pick that up. That's an automatic thing, but for anything else you have to click on it yourself. In many cases I have found that the environments, some of the environments are destructible. Those pillars there, those are actually destructible. I haven't been able just to sit there and whack at it, but if I used that jump ability and landed near it, it would make that pillar fall, which I thought was a neat little addition. I haven't tried to go around and try to break anything else, like those pipes for instance. I was too wrapped up in what I was looking at. One of the things I am hoping for in subsequent builds is a little bit more definition, some better shadowing, so I'm basically a nice little increase in graphic integrity. I'm seeing a lot of very bland and pixelated textures and graphics so far, and again, this is a very, very, very alpha build, so as new builds come out, I'll definitely be posting more videos to show its progression. How there are improvements to not only the gameplay, but to the graphics, the engine, as well as the character creation itself. As of right now, we are only able to make a Crusader, but there are 3 different types of Crusaders that you can make, to include this, which is your standard melee build. You have a light weapons as well as heavy weapon Crusaders that you can make, which I thought was really neat. Other classes that you can make that I've seen so far, but not available, is the Assassin, and forgive me, I forgot what the third one was, but I'm sure that those will become available here very shortly. Now, what you're seeing right now is my first encounter with a mini-boss. This guy was a beast. You'll see that down there by my health on the lower left-hand side, that the red is my health, but then there is that circle or semicircle around it, which started out green, goes to yellow, and then goes to red. As you get hit, you become more susceptible to damage. You start becoming susceptible to crowd control, such as stuns, knockdowns, and you also become slowed very easily as you take damage. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case for every single class, because let me tell you that little bar goes down very quickly, especially when you're going up against behemoths such as this. And I found it very difficult at first to try to figure out how. It's like, what am I doing wrong? But one of the features that is currently in this game is the cover feature. So you do have the ability to find cover, take cover, and the longer that you're somewhat out of combat, the more that bar will replenish itself. And once you get back up in green, it makes yourself, you know, capable of busting up the bad guys. So I've definitely found myself having a hard time with this clunky character taking out all these ads while running away from this monstrous mech. Man, I'm glad that's over. Okay, that was much longer than it needed to be. I definitely get better at that later on down in this dungeon. I do fight 3 more, so I'm not going to put you guys through all that. Now, they were still very, very, very difficult to fight, but yeah, that was not fun. And I do mean that in the sense of it just being kind of a difficult fight, and and whatnot. It was actually it was good fun, but and it was nice to have that challenge. But again, it was just a rough fight. Took a long time, and I'm gonna be doing that again more times. You'll also notice that some loot dropped, and one of the things that I'd say that I don't like as of right now is that it is not a you don't level up as you go. You just collect experience throughout the entire dungeon, and then at the end of the dungeon, that's when you get the opportunity to equip all your gear and see what you got and apply your points and your attribute points and your skill points that you earned through gaining experience. And I do have to say that I do not like that feature. I've always liked the ability to be able to level up right then and there on the spot. I don't like being able to hoard it and then have to wait. Or if I get a piece of loot, I want to be able to look at it. I want to see what the stats are going to do. And I don't like how it's not allowing us to do that just yet. So I do hope that that's going to be a future change. Okay, so each of the corridors were pretty much the same as all the other corridors, filled with baddies, supply crates, and medical crates in order to replenish the supplies that I have for this particular dungeon. It reminds me much in the ways of Dawn of War 2 in that sense, up to this point where you can equip your squad, you can get resources, you can get grenades, but then you can't really do anything else until after the mission is over and you're getting ready to go into your next one. Again, that's not one of those features that I really like. It's not a type of system that I really like, so I hope it gets changed. As you can see, I am fighting another one of those mechs. There was a total of 3 in this on this map, and it dropped some loot, but I forgot to grab it. So apparently it gives you the option to stick around. But one thing you may have noticed is that I changed my weapon loadout real quick. I am now using a two-handed hammer, and it definitely allowed me to kill the monster that much faster. But you see that I just hit accept rather than picking up the stuff that was on the ground. So, whoops. Back at the base, I'm greeted with an inventory screen to show all of my rewards and loot for that particular mission. It just lays it out all nice and neat for you right there. And you get a chance to take a look at it before you accept it into your inventory. After I hit that OK button, I'm right back at my my base of operations, and some of the things that you'll find here, this is kind of like that central hub as of right now. Again, things can change. Is that there are 3 available features. One is storage. One is going to be your star map, and that's going to be the most important feature in your hub here. And then you also have a vendor in which you can sell items or you can purchase items, but as you can see, none of the icons have skins just yet. Matter of fact, you're going to find a lot of the menu options that you have you're supposed to have afforded to you don't really have a very good look to it, a very good interface. But again, these are things that are going to be coming in the future. I'm going through my equipment right now to look at the different implants that I got, because if you know anything about Space Marines, you know that a lot of their strength comes from the implants that they have. That's some of the things that make them stronger. Of course, I'm not a huge Warhammer buff, but I do know that there's gene splicing and a lot of other genetic manipulation that they have had to undergo in order to become the badasses that they are. So you get a chance to play at that a little bit with some of their ocular implants, their neurological implants, and some of the adornments that you get on their armor. Now, something that I'm also thinking that we're going to see in the future is a more interactive and more true to form character screen. As you saw there, it seemed just like a picture on the right hand side, but it almost looks as though that's going to possibly be a better view of your character, I'm hoping, so you can see exactly what you look like right then and there, along with, as you equip weapon, it'll change that model. If not, I think that's a missed opportunity. But here you can also see another kind of glitchy area. This is supposed to be my skills tree, and as you can see, the menu was not that good, so that'll change. Up in the right hand side there, you saw some placeholders for some additional features in there, and where I am right now is the storage feature. Much like in games like World of Warcraft and Diablo 3, you have the ability to store items as you see fit. I'm not sure if this is something that I'm going to be able to expand on later for more storage space, because I think that it can get filled up very quickly. So hopefully we will have that ability to upgrade our storage capacities. Some of the other menu options that I took a look at was my distribution of ability points. And there's no icons here, so you see a lot of just B's and E's and M's and whatnot. And I did pick up about 5 points or so, and I'm just distributing them here. They do give me some tooltips on what those particular abilities do, but you know, you can add them, you can subtract them, and it doesn't seem like we have to commit to them. So if you want to go ahead and get rid of them and then come back to them a little bit later, it looks like that is a capability. Here it looks almost like we have not really achievements, but goals that are tied to little bonuses that we can get as we play the game. So kill X number of bad guys and you get this. Yay! Here are other attributes, statistics that we can increase through the amount of experience and the amount of levels that we gain, and we'll be awarded points in which we can dump into one of 3 areas. Increased resistance, suppression, resistance, and attack for both melee and ranged attacks. So yeah, that's pretty neat. I haven't figured out what this glory thing is just yet, but anyway. Alright, that's really it for right now. So if you like this video, please throw it a like and subscribe for more. I will definitely be posting videos as I go along. Alright, thanks for watching. Horseman out.